Well, we are starting chapter 1. Until here it was the introduction. Chapter 1 of Shaar Habitachon. Just a second. Yeah, it's okay. Well, so I thought will do a class on each chapter, but chapter 1 is really, really short. So I'm just going to, and we already saw that. So we're just going to read and explain. It's basically what we already saw, which is that bitachon, trust, it's not only understanding of the world, reflecting about the world, it's living in this way, where it's become part of your character, when it's become part of the way you think and live the world, not only think, not only understand it. It's not intellectual condition, it's a mental condition. The mental condition of bitachon, which the maybe the most noticeable characteristic of that is being calm, being with peace of mind, not worried, not concerned. And that will lead to be happy. Someone who is happy all the time, or most of the time. If you are sad, meaning you are concerned, or you are disappointed with the reality, or you think that things are not going on the way they should have been, meaning you don't have bitachon. So bitachon is a mental condition which lead you to peace and which lead you to happiness. That's what it says here in the definition. So the first chapter is a definition of the characteristic of bitachon, trust in God, or trust generally, not only in God. It says, trust is a peace of mind of the one who trusts, that one relies in his heart, that the one he trusts in, so the one he trusts, he knows in his heart that the one he trusts him will do what is good and proper for him on the matter he has trusted with him with, according to his ability and his understanding of what will further his good. Uh, but the main factor which leads one to trust in the one trusted, and without which trust cannot exist, is for one's hearts to be confident that the one trusted will keep his word and will do what he pledged, and that he will also think to do what is good for him. Oh, למה לא רואים? Okay. Yeah. Even on what he did not pledge out of pure generosity and kindness, that will be explained. Okay, so this is basically, we already saw that, we already explained that. The main point of the second sentence is that it's, I think, according to my understanding, it's that not only you will trust that he will do for you what you want him to do for you, you are trusting him to do for you what is best for you, right? And not necessarily what you're expecting or what you are saying or what you're asking for. And this is also like the result of what we said before. Since you know that the one you trust in will do the best for you, so you know that even though it looks to you bad, it's actually good for you, right? So this is a result of that. Okay, so that's, like we said before, this is a definition of trust. We talked about it a lot. Now we are continuing to chapter 2, that ask what is needed to trust someone. And it will mention here 7 things that you need to know about the other person, so in order to trust him. And it says also that there's no person that has all these 7 characters. The only one who has these 7 things are God himself. I will jump on these 7. I'll just read the end, what it says here. When we investigate these 7 conditions, we will not find them at all in the created beings, but we will find them all in the Creator. Right? So all the things that we are going to see now, the only one who is really has them, so you can trust him, is God. So let's see. Let's see what are the 7 conditions. So there are 7 factors which makes it possible for one to trust in another human being. So the human being here is in Hebrew, it's in English, it's not in the Hebrew, but anything that you trust. I would say, like we said, we learned in the Akdama, people trust money, people trust their talent, people trust the friend. I mean, there can be not only humans. Everything that you trust in order to be able to trust in it, you must know that it has these characters. Now, some of them are only fit for human, but not all of them. So let's say the first one is compassion, pity, and love. So meaning you must know that the other person loves you. When a man knows that his friend has compassion and pity for him, he will. So he use the word rachamim vechemla ve'ahava. So it's Middle Age Hebrew. So rachamim today we translate usually as mercy, but in the Gemara, for example, rachamim is not always mercy. Rachmana, in the Gemara we call the Torah or God Rachmana, the one who has compassion, which is usually understood as love, right? So I would say someone that cares for you, someone that you are important for him. So when you know that your friends love you, pity for you, you will trust him to be at peace with regard to troubling him with all of his matters. So it's two things, I think there are. It says, יבטח בו ותנוח נפשו עליו בכל מה שיטריחו מענייניו. First of all, he trusts him. Second, he's not worried to bother him with everything. So this is also something that is important. When you trust God, it's not only about the big things, it's also about the little things, about every detail. If he loves you enough, you won't worry, right? So you know that children call the parents for every problem that they have. It's supposed to, in the ideal world. And you can, I don't know, you can speak with your spouse about everything that is bothering you. It's not necessarily only the big things. It's about every detail. So if you believe that God loves you, like we see next, so you would know that everything matters for him. Every little things in your life. I think I told you this story once. I went to a trip with a friend in one river in Israel, and we found suddenly someone. After that, he married your friend. I don't remember his name. He was with us in the yeshiva, and he was a very, very special person. So I remember how he was constantly speaking with God. He didn't find something. He lost his keys or something. So I said, God, I need my keys. What did I put there? I like speaking with him all the time. So I don't know. It's a little bit extreme for me, but I think that it's the idea is correct. It's not. There's no too little things for God. Why do we think that little things are not interesting God? Because we have the understanding of the world in human terms. Meaning, for example, you won't bother the prime minister with a crack in the road near your house because he's too big for that. He has to take care of the general policy of the government. He doesn't have to take care about every details. If he will try to take care about every detail in the country, he won't have enough time. Because what? Because he's not because he's stronger, because he's weaker, he's human, he cannot take care of everything. He must concentrate in the big things. So we say the bigger you are, the more general things you are taking care of. But again, it's not because it's better like that. It was because of lack of capacity. We cannot take care of every detail. But if you think about God, God is big enough to take care of every detail, not only about the big things. So that's what he says here, that if you trust someone, really trust someone, you know he loves you. When you know he loves you, you won't worried about bothering him with everything that bothers you. Every aspect of your life also bothers the other person. So this is the first condition, to trust someone, that to know that he loves you. Can we say that about God? Hopefully, right? We believe that God cares about every one of his children, and that he loves every one of them, and that's the reason he cares about everything that's happened to you. So the second condition, so sometimes someone can love you a lot, but he cannot do anything because he doesn't have the capacity. So in order to trust someone, you not only need to know that he loves you, you also need to know that he can do things for you. So that's the second condition. To know that his friend, besides loving him, I forgot to mention here. I just brought the definition of the condition of the seven conditions, and after that he brings a lot of verses to show, and we can see that the verse says that and that's the proof of what I say. So I just skipped all the verses, right? I didn't bring all the verses. So we are continuing to the second condition, to know that his friends, beside loving him, is not forgetful or lazy in taking care of his needs. Rather, he knows that his friend is active and resolved to do it. Okay, so sorry. I said about the capacity. The capacity is the next condition. The second condition is not the capacity, is caring enough not only to love you, but love you and do for you. This is another condition. You can love someone a lot, but still you have your own business, or you don't have time for him, or you don't want to help him, or you don't want to invest time and effort in that. So the second condition, not only that he loves you, but also that he wants to take action in order to help you. So in this condition regarding God, meaning that you know that God is involved in this world. We talked about that when we learned about the Kuzari, the definition of the philosopher of God. He created the world, but he doesn't know, he doesn't care about the world. He's too perfect. He's concentrated in perfectness and in his happiness, and he doesn't care about anything else. So this is also the opposite of love. But I would say even if he loves, he must care to do something, not only theoretical love. Now, I think that even though we do say that about God, it's really hard to convert it into your mental condition. Like we said before, it's not only understanding, it's living it. Now, how do I know that? We believe that God supervises and has the providence, everything that we are doing, but we are not living like that. And I think that no human being lives like that, almost. Why? Because if we always think that God is involved and know everything that we are doing, we wouldn't have done any kind of sin, right? If you are saying, now is God is looking on me right now and he's care about what I'm doing, how can I do a sin in front of him, right? So it's not really something that we are, it's become part of our natural thinking. We may say that, we may intellectually understand that, but we don't really live it. We live with some kind of disconnection from God. He's not present in every moment of our life in our eyes. So adapting this way of seeing the world would affect all the way you behave. Also related to bitachon. So it's not only that God loves you, but also that he is not lazy to take action. He is part of what's going on, what's happening to you. Okay, so this is the second condition. The third condition is what I said before, is strong, right? He will not be defeated in whatever he desires, and nothing can prevent him from doing the request of the one who trusts him. Meaning, okay, it's quite clear, right? We say he should love you, he should want to do something for you, and he should be able to do something for you. So again, we're talking about humans. He may love you, he may want to help you, but maybe he cannot. He just cannot. He always limits. So you would trust, the stronger the person is, the more you can trust him. And again, if we are arriving to the highest level, of course, he's the one who can do everything. He is also the one you can love. The fourth condition is, again, someone can love you, someone may want to help you, someone may even be able to help you, but he doesn't really know you or doesn't really understand you or your needs. Okay, so many times we want to help people, and instead of helping them, we are doing something against them. Or by, for example, helping too much to a child can cause him damage because then he's dependent on you. So also how to help, you should know. And the first condition to know how to help someone is to know his needs. Okay, and who knows better than us what we need? Of course, God. So that's what he says is the fourth condition, that the one he trusts knows what is beneficial for him, both for his inner and outer life, and also that none of the ways which benefit him or further his welfare are hidden to him. Okay, so it's so the translation here, it's not exactly word for word, but the idea is what I just say, right? So in order to be able to help you to really do what you need, he needs to know you and needs to know the ways to help you. So this is the fourth condition. So he should love you, he should want to help you, he should be able to help you, and he should know how to help you. Okay, the fifth one is that it's not temporal or one-time issue. Okay, so he says that the one he trusts is under the exclusive care of him from the beginning of his existence, his development, babyhood, childhood, youth, adulthood, the old age, until the end of his days. The parenthesis here, I don't know what it means. It doesn't say that in Hebrew. Just take it away. Yeah. So this whole way of seeing, not only concentrating in the now, but knowing you from birth to death, it also gives you other perspective. Because like I said before, there may be things that are good to you in a certain part of your life, but won't be good to you later. So again, if we are looking of parents with their children, so of course the way you behave to one who is 2 years old, it's not the way you behave with a 15 years old or when he's 35 years old. Right? So every step in your life require other attention, and what you may think when you are 3 years old that it's against you, you may understand when you are 20 years old that it was in your favor. So parents can also make mistakes, but when you're talking about God, we understand that he sees the whole picture. And even though you may think that some of the things that are happening to you right now is not in your favor, in the whole picture, in the general picture, it's for your benefit, right? So the fifth, until now we saw like building the capacity of helping. Now we are talking about more generally. It's constant things. It's something that it's happened during all your life, from birth to death. God is with you, and God is taking care that the best things would happen to you, the best things for you would happen to you in every stage of your life. Um, the sixth and the seven, the two last one, I would say they are very similar to the one and the third, or the third and the one. Let's see, and I will explain maybe the differences. So all matters of the truster are entirely in the hands of the one he trusts, and no one else can hurt him, help him, benefit him, or protect him from harm, as a slave chained down in a prison is entirely in the hands of his master. So, interesting metaphor, but what he says is no one else that can prevent the one you trust from helping you, from doing the best for you. How do we say that regarding God? How do we see that regarding God? So it's very similar to the third one. The third one, we say that he is strong, meaning that he has a capacity of helping you. He is able to help you. So part of it is that no one else can prevent him from doing that, right? So it looks like it's part of that, but it putting that in a different point, different condition. I think that the point here is the faith that there's no other powers in this world, which is also something that it's very hard to us to believe. All the idea of idolatry come from the idea that there are different powers in the world. And these powers can conflict between themselves. There is the god of fertility, and the god of the sea, and the god of, I don't know, of the fields, and they can have conflict of interest, and everyone is pushing to his direction. So there's no one authority to this world. This approach is also represents in more modern religions. For example, without being expert in Christianity, I think that in Christianity there is the power of Satan, which is separate from the power of God. The God and the Satan are fighting in this world for generation. And there is the Antichrist, right? The Christ and the Antichrist. They are fighting during history. And there's no guarantee that the Christ will win the Antichrist. Why? Because Antichrist is independent power. He's not power of God. He's not coming from God. And there was the Zarathustra. It was the religion in Iran before Islam. There was two gods, the good God and the bad God. Why is this? Where it's come from? This approach come from seeing that there are always conflicts in this world. There is good and bad, disease and health, hate and love. The world is combined with many different powers that looks like they contradict each other. If God is good, why there is bad in this world? Why there are disease? Why there are hatred? Why there are wars? Right? So we see the world as a complicated and sophisticated place. So we as human beings, we try to make sense of that, saying there are different authorities of power in this world. So there are angels, or there are different gods, and this is a source of idolatry and of other religion. But in Judaism, we believe that there is only one God in the deeper sense. Not only that there is one God that is above all the other, but all the other powers that are in this world are receiving the power from one God. So God created good and God created bad. So why did he do? Why would he do that? The bad is a mean to achieve a better good, right? He created the world in this way that the bad is helping in some way to achieve the ultimate good, the ultimate purpose, the ultimate redemption. So everything is a process. So according to that, the bad was created by God. We say that every morning in the tefillah, Yotzer or uvore chosher, he creates the light and the night. Yotzer uvore oseh shalom uvore et hakol. He makes peace and create everything. Now, the word everything is a correction. The original verse is in, I think, Sefer Yeshaya, and it says there, Yotzer or uvore ra. Oseh shalom, כן, יוצר אור, no יוצר אור ובורא, how it goes, יוצר אור ובורא רע. It says clearly, God created the bad. And we change that a little bit. We don't want to say that like so clearly in the tefillah every day, so we change the Chachamim, the sages, send the wording, and it's יוצר אור ובורא חושך. Right? In order to, instead of ra, they wrote darkness. But this is the meaning of darkness, the bad. So meaning God created the bad, so everything that happened to you, or everything that's happening in the world, it's part of the bigger plan, even though you don't understand every detail of this bigger plan. So according to that, when we are talking about God that is able to help you, is able to do the good for you, always able to do the good for you, is because there's no other power. All the other powers are under his power and authority. So the thing that happened to you in the end, because all the intermediate powers is also part of the big plan. And also, it's also help you to understand you shouldn't trust any other thing. You shouldn't trust humans, you shouldn't trust money, you shouldn't trust, I don't know, skills and talent. You should trust only the thing that should give you peace of mind is God. Right, of course, you have to use all the things that you have in your mind, money and friends and everything. You have to use everything, but have the peace of mind that everything is controlled by God. So everything is part of the big plan. So this is 6, and the difference that I believe between this number 6 and number 3, being strong and being the only, is related to that. Being strong, you can be strong, but there are other people that are strong, there are other powers that are strong in this world. But being strong is not enough if there is something that is against you. But when you believe that he's the only one, so that all the other things, I mean, he's strong and there's nothing that can prevent him from giving you the best situation that you could get. So this is number 6. Number 7 is very similar to the first one. So the first one was what? That he loves you, right? So number 7, it says that the person he trusts is absolutely generous and kind. I would say loving person. I.e. the most possible extreme of generosity and kindness. I don't know what are these comments come from, but yeah. To those deserving and to those who are not deserving. And that is generosity and kindness is continuous, never ending, and without interruption. Okay, so I think that the main point of that is saying deserving and not deserving. This is the main point. So you can say someone loves you, he will be with you as long as you are not acting against him, as you are not making a sin against him. What? Huh? נו, כבר לקראת הסוף, אבל... Yeah, so... yeah, so the first condition we said that he loves you, but this love can end in some point, right? When you are doing something that is wrong. Trust in someone absolutely is when you know that doesn't matter what you do, he still loves you. He still wants to do the best for you. And again, this is only God, right? That never mind what you did, of course, you have to make tshuva and you have to correct yourself. And there is punishment. The purpose of the punishment is to correct you, not to punish you just out of revenge or something like that. But what you must know in order to really trust God, that he loves you under any circumstances, in any condition. Never mind if you did wrong or right, you still are loved for him because it's his character, right? He is generous and kind, never mind what's happened outside himself. Okay, so that's what he says here, that 7 conditions to trust is that this person that you trust, meaning God, is absolutely generous and kind to those deserving and to those who are not deserving. And it's continuous and never ending. Okay, so these are the 7 conditions. Let's say again, what are the conditions in order to someone to trust you? Is that he loves you, he wants to help you, he can help you, he knows how to help you, he is knowing all the picture, not only this moment from birth to death. That was the 5th, and then the 7th, there's now no one that can prevent him from helping you, and it doesn't matter what you are doing, he still wants to help you. These are the 7 conditions that create trust in something. And like we said in the beginning, all these conditions are only, you can find them only with God. So the only one we should trust is God. So when we investigate these 7 conditions, we will not find them at all in the created beings, but we can find them all in the Creator. He is compassion to his creations, as written, and again, he brings a verse. I didn't bring all the verses. He is compassionate to his creations. That's the first condition. He never neglects them, as written, etc. He is. What should be like that? That he is all wise and invincible, right? That he know everything that you need, right? That he know how to help you, like we said before. And invincible meaning no one can prevent him from helping you. And that he alone is the one who guides a person from the beginning of his existence and development until the death. It doesn't say until the death. That one benefits or harm is not in the hands of people, but rather only in the hands of the Creator. And that his generosity is universal and his kindness is all-embracing, etc. Like says, the verse says, Tov Hashem lakol v'cham kol ma'asav. So, but really the intellect can infer that these 7 conditions exist in the Creator and not in the created beings. And therefore I have brought these verses from scripture only as a remembrance. So he said, he explained, all the verses that we saw, that he brought, that I didn't bring here in the page, but all the verses that he cited, it's not the proof. He said, all those things about God, you can know by your understanding. You don't need verse to show you that. I only brought these verses only as a remembrance, right? Like the verse says, Tov Hashem lakol v'achamav al kol ma'asav. Like the verse says, etc. So the verses are only a remembrance and not the proof. The proof is the way we understand God. The way we understand God, that He has all these characters. This is what should create our trust in God. Okay, then when one clarifies this to himself and his recognition in the true kindness of the Creator will be strong, he will place his trust in Him, give himself up completely to Him, and leave the guidance of his life to Him, never suspect Him in his judgment, nor be upset, but what is He chosen for him. Okay, so this is all the things that we just saw are I would say, the intellectual base fundamentals in order to create. It doesn't yet tell you how to create this sense. It says you should understand all of those, interiorize them, and make them part of the way you think about the world, and then you will be able to develop this peace of mind. Okay, that's what we call trust in God. In the next chapter, he's going to explain a little bit more how to adapt really all these things. But the first thing is understanding this concept and thinking about God in these terms. Okay, that is for today. We have tefillah soon.
Thank you.
Any comments or something?
Gracias, Rabino. Muchas gracias.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.